So hi guys, so I'm here doing another video regarding the coronavirus basically. So I'm going to talk about the mask mandates. I'm going to set up a little differently today. So my opinion, and then we'll pull some cards, on the mask mandates is people are making this, I think, way more difficult than it has to be. Okay? I did a video previously about becoming vaccinated, and in my pulling of the cards, it was kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay? You could get it and die if you don't get the vaccination, but you can take the vaccination and have side effects that will affect you long term. If you are in that group that has side effects from the vaccination, not everybody, but you can get the vaccination and you can have the breakthrough cases. There's even been breakthrough cases now in children. So the ones that can get the vaccination, or maybe the ones in the study, I'm not quite sure, don't quote me on that, but under 12 or 12ish or so, there was breakthrough cases. So again, that video, basically the outcome was you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But now we're going to talk about the mandate. First of all, I don't think this would be as such a big to do as it is like with resistance of getting the vaccination. I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, if it weren't for Trump, if Trump didn't handle it in the way that he did, if people, half the nation, I would say, because half are for him, half are against him, approximately, maybe 75 are against him and the rest are for him. I'm not quite sure on the numbers, but there are people who were against him and didn't trust him. So if he hadn't of just presented the whole getting the vaccination, getting the scientists to work faster to come up with a vaccination, which I think was a really good idea. And if he had the money behind it to push the scientists to work harder, to work faster, I think that is a good thing. It's just how he presented himself. Take that being a good thing, and then taking the coronavirus task force news conferences where he's saying can people put Lysol in their body? Like, could that happen? Just that loses credibility. So because he lost credibility on basically his personality flaw of how he handles things and how he talks and just whatever, if that hadn't been in the beginning, I think this would have gone down a different road. Okay, if it was handled in the beginning differently. Okay, so you have the resistance of people wanting to get vaccinated because of they don't trust the government, they don't trust whatever, and then all these other things happen in the news. Basically a lack of trust, okay, in police, government, medical, just lacking trust. So I believe in the initial first days, if it was handed more from a place of compassion and not a place of ego, then we would be in a totally different spot right now. Because there's many vaccinations, especially when you go into school or you get your children in the high school, they have to get vaccinations. Children going to college have to get vaccinations. Teachers have to make sure they don't have TB. They gotta get a TB test. There's many things that are required medically of people that want to do different jobs. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. When there's babies, when your baby has a baby, when you have a baby, there's different vaccinations they get. And it's from years of deciding that this will help prevent future illnesses. I got my children the chickenpox vaccination, because I had the chickenpox when I was younger, and that was not something you want to have. I can remember it, putting all that lotion, chamomile lotion, or whatever lotion it was, on all your different spots, because they really itch, and you can't itch them because then there'll be scars, and I just didn't want my children to have to go through that. So I did get them the chickenpox vaccination and didn't think twice about it. But because you had the Trump administration and the way this was all presented and handled, okay, it led to mistrust. So I feel that's a reality that people higher up need to face. Okay? The other thing is, as far as making it harder than it has to be, I understand the mandates. I get it. You know, the health people, the mayors, the whoever, are just trying to be like, well, we know the vaccination will keep you from dying, hopefully keep you out of the hospital. You might have a few side effects, you might have problems down the road, but you know what, you won't be dead. So they're just trying to keep people alive, and they're just trying to do the right thing. I don't think anyone has any ill intent. I think government is just trying to do the right thing, saying we need to mandate that you have to have these things done. Just as if, again, babies get vaccinations, you know, high school students get vaccinations, some colleges you need a vaccination of such to go to. But again, it brings me back to how it all started, which is why it's not going as smoothly. Another thing is, I saw a news conference where, you know, there's some nurses and there's some firemen and policemen that don't want to take the vaccination. And they're like, you know, we worked all through COVID in 2020 through now in 2021 without having this mandate to be vaccinated. We worked without having our vaccination. We worked in masks, and we worked through all this chaos. And now you're going to make a mandate, and if we don't, you're going to fire us or not pay us. I mean, what a slap in the face for those people. I can't even imagine how pissed off I'd be if I were those people. So the mandate, the force, the do this or else, I don't think is a good idea. Because I think the shit's gonna hit the fan. And now my daughter, she had a baby, and she's almost done her maternity leave, and she works with children, and she works kind of in the health field, and they said that you have to get vaccinated to come back. Well, she doesn't want to be vaccinated. Her and her fiance do not believe in being vaccinated for whatever their own personal reasons. So she decided to, of course she has to be tested, which everybody that doesn't get vaccinated might have to do the weekly testing or whatever, which down the road I think that's going to change altogether too, because that is going to breed a whole big, you know, nest of chaos to doing it every week and having problems and people not doing it and people doing it and then losing records of them doing it and just the whole chaos. Okay, so I don't think that's going to last very long. It may just be testing once a month eventually. That's what I could see personally. So she decided not to go back full-time. She's going to go back part-time, and I think she does have to get tested for COVID, but I think with part-time she might not have to be vaccinated. It might just be the full-time workers. But anyway, so she switched. Now I go to many specialists, and I have a specialist. I have a he's a, what is he? Pulmonologist. As I cough and can't breathe. My pulmonologist, he seems to be a really good doctor. He's older, you know, elderly man, and he's thinking of quitting because he is tired of wearing masks. You know, I guess maybe I don't know if he's vaccinated or not, but he's just tired of this COVID thing. He's tired of working with a mask on. That's what he was complaining about, working with the mask on. And he's going to retire early. Not early, but because he's old. So he's going to retire now because he's done. He's like, if this doesn't get situated, I'm definitely going to retire in the next 3 months. And I'm like, well, just wait till my next appointment. Could you hang on? because I go back to see him within that 3-month period. So he's quitting. A lot of nurses aren't showing up for the job, are quitting from the field because they don't want to be vaccinated. And here in Chicago today, oh, I probably should have watched the news, but they were supposed to go down to, I don't know, City Hall or wherever and show how many cops do not want to be vaccinated, to show that there is many. So if you're going to fire this many cops, this many firemen, this many healthcare workers, shit is going to hit the fan, is what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm thinking, I don't know what kind of pandemic you would call it, but there is going to be an epic pandemic of social revolt, of, I can't think of a word, civil unrest. Just shit is going to hit the fan if they keep these mandates. I can't go back to work right now, but when I could, if I ever could, I'm not going to, because of Biden's rule that if you have over 200 people, everybody has to be vaccinated. And not that I would mind getting tested, but that's just a big hassle. Thank God they're just going down your nose. What if they had to go up somewhere else, weekly to test for that? It's just a whole inconvenience. So, no, I would, if I could work, I would find some other kind of line of work. Because I was actually a school bus driver, which is another shortage of people. And people probably leaving that field, I'm assuming, because of the mandate for vaccinations, okay? So the point is, I think shit is going to hit the fan with these mandates. We'll pull the cards, we'll just see. I'll try to think of a question to ask. But it's everything is more difficult than it has to be, okay? You want the vaccination. Oh, and I don't like these news people on TV or news shows, it's all the fault of the unvaccinated. They're hogging up the hospital. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. That's like being a bully, okay? You don't know what reasons people don't want to be vaccinated. Some may just be stubborn and screw you, government. I'm not doing it, okay? Those people maybe, is their own group. But there's people that medically can't get vaccinated, or religiously can't get vaccinated. Their religious views. So these people that bully out the unvaccinated really need to be clear that they're talking about people that just don't want to do it because they're stubborn, not the people that can't because of medical or religious reasons. So I just don't like how there's no clarification with that. It's just bully the unvaccinated. So we may live, and then you can't go to a movies, you can't go to a restaurant, you need the vaccination card, blah, 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 can't go to a concert. It's all bullying, okay? I have chosen for my own reasons not to be vaccinated. With that, I know I take my own responsibility for my own behavior. I know that I can't go to a concert. I know that maybe I can't at some point go to indoor dining. However, I accept that consequence. When I go out, I wear my N95 or KN95 mask. I wear medical gloves on one hand because I don't touch the gas pump. I don't touch the bank teller, to get the thing out and you punch in, or the ATMs, or the teller where you pull that tube out to put your check in to be deposited. I wear one glove on one hand, like Michael Jackson. I used to wear two gloves on both hands, but I was like, why am I'm wasting so many gloves? So I just use it on the hand that I would be touching most items. So, and if you touch something in the store and you're like, no, I don't want this one, you put it back, and then you go and you get a different shampoo. You're touching. Now, not that touching surfaces has led to you getting COVID, but I guess maybe if you put it in your mouth or in your eyes, possibly, I don't know. I can't remember what the verdict was on touching surfaces. However, that's what I've done. And I've worn a mask every time, all the time. I only go to my 3 little spots. That's where I go. I haven't got COVID from them, so I do go to them. I go to my same grocery store. I go to my same gas station. I go to my same McDonald's. I go to my same Dollar Tree. You know, and sometimes it's inconvenient. Sometimes I'm driving down the road from somewhere else and I'm like, oh, I need to go to Walgreens, let's say, if I go to Walgreens often. Which I do, actually. I have a Walgreens that I go to. And one's on my way coming home. I'd be like, oh, let me stop in that Walgreens. I got to pick up something. But I don't. Okay, so I might go a block or two out of my way to go to the Walgreens that I always go to. Because those places have kept me safe. So I have taken my own responsibility for my own self. And this is where I'm saying it's making it harder than it has to be. You want to get vaccinated? Get vaccinated. You know, I wouldn't bully you about it. I mean, it's your choice. What you want to do for yourself. I choose not to. That's what I choose for myself. But, so you choose to be vaccinated, okay? And then I know people got mad because then it was like, oh, well, you're vaccinated, but you get breakthrough cases. Oh, you're vaccinated, but please wear the mask again. So I could understand how that would be frustrating for the vaccinated people. So you're vaccinated, okay? Wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. Don't wear a mask if you don't want to wear a mask. You're vaccinated, okay? After you've gotten your 2 shots and possibly a booster, okay? Don't need to wear a mask. They say if you want to, it might be good, but the point of being vaccinated is so that you can have this freedom. If you're not vaccinated, be responsible and wear the mask. The mask definitely prevents spread of the illness, of other illnesses. They've had much less colds, much less flus during the COVID season where we all had to wear masks. So it definitely, and I believe it definitely works. Okay, I wear a mask at times, even in families' homes who have other people coming in. You know, I remember this one girl came into the room and I like went out the other way. You know, every time this person came in, because she was a neighbor of someone, came into the, I didn't know her from Joe Schmo, she came in the room, I ran into another room. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope she doesn't catch on that every time she comes into, and I had my mask on. So it's, get vaccinated. You don't need a mask. Wear a mask if you want to feel the extra protection, but you don't need to after you've gotten your 2 shots and your booster. If you're not vaccinated, take your precautions. Everybody, either side, could be asymptomatic, which is why I wear my mask in a home with family where there's other people coming in. You know, I was the only one at my daughter's bridal baby shower wearing a mask. I don't care. Again, I said another, I have no ego left anymore, but I know I need to keep myself safe from getting the COVID. So I am responsible and I do whatever for myself to keep my individual self safe. That's where it needs to be simple. Forget the mandates, because shit is going to hit the fan if it hasn't already. Okay, the whole social system, government system, goods being transported to us, grocery stores having lack of shelving because there's not enough CDL drivers, because of this and that, and this, you know, it's going to get worse, way worse before it even gets better. And now there's another Delta 2.0 or whatever it is that they're watching in the UK. So my point is, they're making it much more difficult than it has to be. As far as this, I don't think there should be mandates. I understand them. I understand what the thinking is. You know, if you're working in healthcare, patients should come in and know that they are protected because the staff is vaccinated. But why can't they know that they're protected if the staff is taking all precautions? Glove changes between patients, enough masks, enough, what was the term they used in the beginning of COVID? just essential tools that they need to keep themselves safe and the patients safe. Okay, so if they continue with this mandate shit, okay, we'll keep that there. I think shit is going to hit the fan. I think many things are going to collapse. Okay, another thing, as I'm on my soapbox, oh, I forgot my sheet for this deck, but anyway, well, I'll pause the camera in a second, just because this is not right away. I have to sometimes look to see whatever. Never mind. Yeah, that's nothing you need to worry about. So, they're mandating these vaccines, okay? And people are going to get fired if they don't, like the Chicago police. You don't show or go on the portal and say if you're vaccinated or not. You have till this certain date. If not, you're let go, not fired, but let go home without pay. Like, what the F? What the F? Shit is going to hit the fan. These people that really, and not just being stubborn, but really do not want to get this vaccination for health, for religious reasons, or even for just personal reasons, for their own body, that they want to decide what goes in and what comes out of it, what goes in it. Shit is going to hit the fan. And so then you are going to have, on top of people losing their jobs because of COVID, there is going to be so many more people unfucking employed. Okay? And they're fucking around with trying not to give us another stimulus check. At that point, they're going to have to do universal income. Okay, so is that really what you want, people? The government, higher ups? Do you really want to go to universal income? Because you're forcing these people out? Because you're forcing them with this mandate? I mean, there's going to be a collapse. There is going to be a collapse. There is going to be, it's not going good. That's what I think, and we're going to see what the cards have to say. Hang on one moment. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get my little cheat sheet here with my different decks that don't go by right or wait. To see okay, so as I was talking, remember, a card fell out. It's the Tower. Yep. The structure right now is not stable. The government, the structure, the states, the towns, the cities. Structure right now, the transportation department, getting goods and services to people is not, services meaning hospital, fire, police, bus transportation, goods meaning the shipping industry. There is going to be a huge Tower moment. Okay, this person looks like he's like demanding, like he looks very stern and demanding, and if you don't do this, if you don't do these mandates, we're going to crumble you. Well, the opposite is going to happen. And they need to open their eyes to see that this force, this mandate, we're going down a dirty road. Okay, so that was interesting that came out. Anything else if they keep these mandates to be vaccinated for all these different jobs? You know, I don't know how, I would be curious to wonder how many people are in the age group to retire in versus those that aren't. Like, what is I'd like to see a graph on that, because you're going to have a lot of people retiring. Okay, this is why I wanted to look at my sheet. So it's the dragon that's sitting. The sitting dragon. Flying dragon. Okay, this is the knight. So this is the Knight of Cups. Alright, so he is the debonair knight. You know, in the right of way, he's the player or whatever kind of thing. I don't see that here, but what I do see is, you okay over there? My dog, she's choking a bit. This is a player energy, but the government is playing a game. Okay, it's kind of like, what's that? Chicken? Is it chicken? Yeah, it kind of looks like a chicken as I look at them. You know, playing chicken. Like, who's going to give in first? Is what I'm seeing off that card. So it's a dangerous game that's being played that is not going to have good results. The world needs to come more with compassion and love and not demanding. There's so much anger in the world. It's just pitiful. Just pitiful, I say. Okay, so we have the 4. We have the Emperor. Okay, again, the government. In this card, it kind of looks like he's cracking a heart in half. And it's exploding. If you think people were against the government before, just wait. Yeah. It looks like a heart to me is what's calling out. So it's really this demand, this Emperor is about power, it's about leadership. It's also about ego. But it's going to crush people. It's going to break people's hearts. Because there's not, like I was saying, there's not enough compassion. Okay, let's see what else. Anything else? You know, so we have, I was going to say 2 major arcanas, but the Emperor isn't really a major arcana, but I kind of see him as one. Oh, here. And we have the Fool. This person has snakes around him. He has some kind of, I don't know, he's just covered in, I want to say chaos, but just entanglement. So this is the Fool. The Fool is usually, you know, setting out on a new journey, being innocent, you know, looking for brighter days, and going through self-enlightenment journey. But here, I see snakes in the grass and just chaos around you. You can't think clearly. You have the apple, you know, which is, remember, with Adam and Eve, God said, don't bite the apple. But Eve gave it to Adam, and he did. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just saying to me the government is biting the evil apple with this one. Apples are also, to me, about, you know, teachers and learning. They're not learning. They're not learning how to address the situation. Okay. This is the Ace of Cups. There is going to be an overflow of emotion, of sadness, of just despair. God forbid more suicides, because people have lost their job, lost their livelihood, lost a career that they've done for years. They have no other skills. And the government is forcing them out. And then you're not going to pay? You're not going to back these people up? It is not their fault that this virus came to be. But you're punishing them. And then we have the 8 of Cups. You know, the 8 of Cups is the guy walking away. But Eight of Cups is also about being abandoned. These people that are losing their jobs because they're not cooperating with the mandate, and possibly they don't want to be stuck up their nose, every friggin' week. They feel they have rights for their own human body. They are going to be home. Maybe this person was a warrior, and she's imagining herself, her life that she no longer has. There is going to be so much more depression, so much more emotional, distraught people. I mean, I don't think I need to keep pulling, because I'm just keep getting the same messages over and over again of distraughtness, just punishment. Okay, we have the sitting dragon again. I said that was the Knight. So we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, there are going to be people that are going to fight for a cause, fight for what they believe on both sides. There's going to be protests like the Black Lives Matter protests. There may be protests like Our Body Matters. And there's going to be two sides. The sides that are telling people they're dumb, you need to get vaccinated, just, suck it up and do it. But then there are sides that are like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to put this in my body. I have religious reasons. I am disabled. I have medical reasons. It's just going to be everybody fighting for their own cause. Everybody yelling, screaming, and no one is listening to anyone. When it needs to come down to compassion, we have the Five of Pentacles. This is the people outside the church. It symbolizes loss. It symbolizes being wounded. It symbolizes having lack. But the Five of Pentacles also symbolizes rejection and neglect. This is a warning card, a warning for the government to pay attention. Do they not understand how this is going to play out? In my mind, in my intuitive hit. Could be wrong. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. We'll see if I'm wrong down the road. I have no problem saying, oh, I was wrong. Okay, I have no ego about this. This is just my intuitive hits on the subject. The only one who knows, the only one who has all the answers is the divine. Nobody else. I don't care what they say, who they say they are. Nobody has all the answers. Yeah, I'm seeing back here a figure with a hood on. Like, it's like people are going to have to go into hiding. The candles there are calling me to, like, electricity. God forbid that due to whatever reason, I don't know what, but we lose electricity. We lose heat during the winter. All because of this trickle down effect of everything. Yeah. So that's my reading on this. Again, I think it just needs to be simpler. Get the vaccination, get your 2 shots, get your booster, don't have to wear a mask. And it'd be a good idea if you did wear a mask, because you could be asymptomatic, but legally you don't have to wear a mask. If you don't get vaccinated, wear a mask, wear gloves, wear a spacesuit. I don't care. Do whatever is responsible as an individual to protect other people and protect yourself. That is the choice you're making. That is the choice you live with. It's the choice I've made. I've told you what I've done. I don't go out Okay, it is kind of not fun. Okay, but it's the responsible thing for me to do. To just not go willy-nilly, you know, all over the place. And yeah, I miss going to restaurants. I miss going to the mall. I miss, you know, this and that. I do things that are outside, you know. Go to a park. Go to an outdoor restaurant where they're separate, you know, all the tables are separate. You're in, you know, the world. Outside, rather, in nature is what I was trying to say. You're in nature. You're in outside facilities. You know, that we may see that come up in. Can you imagine that coming up in the future, like these outdoor restaurants? Let's just say, and you have to prove that you're not vaccinated to come in. Like, let's just make our own club of the unvaccinated. You know, maybe there'll be parks that are, you know, let's just say vaccinated parks and unvaccinated parks, where the people in the unvaccinated parks definitely stay, you know, 6 to 9 feet away from everybody. I mean, it can just go like so many other places, is the point. So, compassion and love is what we need. We need to, and I'm not saying I'm right in my views. I'm not saying you're right in your views. No, you know, everybody has their own opinion. It's your own perspective. But everybody needs to respect everybody's own perspective, is what I'm getting at. So God bless. Take care. Leave a comment if you want on this. But I think shit is going to hit the fan before it gets better. Bye-bye.